seek to find is a world that's mine. Need a place to hide. Will you free my mind? Follow the light of a world that's blind. In your eyes I see there's a place for me. There's a place used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first, but I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior.
Well, hello and good evening. Welcome back to Rocket League here on the NECC. I am Captain Etsuka, joined on the desk by none other than the loudest tugboater in Rocket League. It's FBI Tugboat. What is going on, Tug? How are we feeling tonight?
Doing well, doing well. Feeling great, feeling great. It's a fantastic day for esports, and it's a fantastic day for some playoffs, Capitan. I'm all here for it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's been a very long season, but we made it here. Here we are. We're into the postseasons. We're into playoffs. A little bit bittersweet because the season's already ending, but we do get some pretty good games now that we're in the postseason. Things are going to be even more scrutinous. They're going to be even more tightly niched between these teams. At least I'm hoping. I'm hoping to see some pretty close games.
Hey, we're going to have best of 7 series, so shortest series possible. 4 games. I don't see that happening. Nobody got here by mistake at Soka. Everybody just fought through that regular season, and now, well, we got a trio of matches, all of them going to be upper bracket quarterfinals. So these are teams that have not even taken a dub in the double, or have not taken an L, excuse me, that have not taken an L within the double elimination. So they still have one to burn, essentially. Nobody wants to drop down there early, but they still have a match to burn. So none of the teams that we see here today will be eliminated from the playoffs upon a loss.
All right, well, let's get ready to check out our schedule and what we have going on for tonight. We have 3 different games that we are going to be bringing you this evening. Our first matchup is going to be Akron Blue taking on St. Clair Saints Green. Tugboat, what are you thinking about this matchup?
I think it's going to be an absolute fantastic one. Taking a look at Bullseye, 5 up, and Patty over here from Akron Blue. Big shout out to H. Wallswood. That's going to be coaching.
Yeah, and you know what, I gotta tell you, I'm definitely liking this matchup just because I'm a big fan of both of these teams. I actually got to meet the starting roster for St. Clair back in, I want to say, maybe 2023, and I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of their esports program that they have over there. And Akron is always the team I feel like, a lot of the community sleeps on. Do not sleep on Akron.
Ohio esports in general, pretty good. A lot of support. Not everything else. I'm not sure if I got that out. Think about Mike died. Big shout out Thermal Rex and Shuffleverse here for the side of the St. Clair Saints Green. So Shuffleverse possibly a player slash manager slash coach. Shuffleverse, a player of many different hats.
Yeah, and on the side of Akron Blue, you got Bullseye. Oh, there's Bullseye right there. We're going to just get this one right underway. No further ado. Game number 1 between Akron Blue and St. Clair Saints Green is underway.
Yes. So, best of 7 match starting right now. A little bit of early pressure as Bullseye tries to follow this one up. A little bit of back and forth. Hey, they're just kind of feeling each other out early, Captain.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically how it goes. I mean, right now, I'm waiting to see who's going to be able to get the communication and team strat down first, because a lot of the time when you're looking at this early game, everybody's trying to go for the ISO plays. They're trying to take mid, and then they're going to try and just get some early shots just to get some pressure building. But the first team that actually manages to take positioning over midfield and actually spreads the field out is going to be the first one to score.
A little backboard play, and Fabso says no go. A fantastic point, though, Captain. At the end of the day, obviously there's team play and stuff like this, but early games, I feel like the momentum builds off of an individual player. Just simply pop it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, Shuffleverse looking to be that player with that shot. Goes wide. Back down towards mid. No one from St. Clair to receive it. Is now, you can see Akron Blue starting to push the pressure here at the midfield.
Speaking of that pressure, St. Clair, gotta say, they had cool hand Luke right there. Did not shake, did not shiver. Now a pass to nobody there from Jesse and just giving up possession right here. Fortunately, it's the other side of the pitch, so it's not going to be something that comes back and really bites him. A fantastic double tap right there as Patty plays it from the ground, puts it to the corner, and the St. Clair Saints defense continues. Nice pass. That's way too high.
Yeah, just a tidbit, but the follow-up shot is on, and it is good. 5 up, able to put 1 up here for Akron Blue.
5 up, 1 in. I don't know, I'm losing track here. 2 minutes into this first game here, Captain. Akron Blue gonna be the ones to draw first blood.
Yep, that they are. Just shy of the first 2 minutes gone. Still plenty of time for St. Clair to try and find a rebuttal. Jazzy able to get the up and over 1, but here comes the paddy wagon, and they're going to get beat out on the end, and they will be demolished in the process. As now 5 up once again will take control. Fabso, opportunity off the backboard, but it's deflected away.
Yeah, so that was a fantastic takeaway and opportunity from Fabso, but at the end of the day, Captain, they just can't get high enough to make a play onto that ball, and teammates aren't in position to get a play done themselves. Some great defense here and a pass. This should be backboard. Will it be? Second tap. 5 up says no. And this one sent way back the other way, and Shuffleverse, the player, coach, manager, player of many different hats, is taken down. Physical play dominating the day so far, Captain.
I mean, right now, Akron Blue doing a pretty good job of holding on to their 1-goal lead, and I got to tell you, there's been so many matches I have seen decided by 1 goal. As a matter of fact, so many matches that have only been 1 goal, but my goodness, Jazzy able to force this one in.
Nicely done. A tying factor here with about 2 minutes left. This is at, like, what? I guess this is technically an own goal, right? They put it in the corner, kind of bounces out a little bit, and maybe that's just sort of like an awareness type factor. Like, you gotta know where that ball's bouncing off of.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely an own goal, but at the same time, it was Jazzy who was, leading that pressure, causing the mistake. So again, they're going to get credit for the goal as we play on. Now we got ourselves a tie ball game, 1-1. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Jazzy trying to pass this one out to the mid. Able to 50 down. This one's getting caught up. Bad positioning here for Akron.
Wow, and a great job kind of stopping that one. Now, the danger is not over with Akron Blue almost cheated up halfway across this pitch early. That could have very easily been the tiebreaker here, as nobody is in town. Lights are on, nobody home, down shot. And if the St. Clair Saints player had just played a little bit farther back, this green squad would have taken that one to the bank.
Yeah, just over a minute remaining, and so far we are continuing this tug of war. And honestly, should probably be around 1-0, but again, we had a little bit of a whoopsie, an own goal that could come back to haunt them, as Jazzy nearly able to get one to go.
A lot of pressure here for the Saints green squad. They've gone forth and dealt with this pressure plenty before, and that's a little bit of a whiff right there. One of the best opportunities that we've seen so far today, just kind of going by the wayside.
Yeah, another opportunity, maybe. Jazzy able to get the touch down, just over 30 seconds. This one goes high. Shuffleverse now, not going to be able to get the touch, as that one's going to get pinched out, but the danger is still there. Going up behind the net, not going to be any good. This one's going to go the other way.
Hey, look, this is D1. It makes sense if you hold your breath a little bit when you see players like Shuffleverse moving and grooving their way through the air like that one, especially at a 1-1 scoreline with now single-digit seconds left. I can taste overtime, Captain. I can taste it.
Yeah, it could very well go that way. The ball will hit the dirt, and we will head into overtime. Game number 1 of the first series of the night, and already here we are in OT.
Can't be surprised. D1 said it before. These teams did not get here by mistake. Little bit of early aggression here from Akron Blue as the Saints just get tripped up over each other.
Yeah, now going off the backboard, you see Jazzy running out a boost there towards the end, able to 50 this one out. Bullseye, looking for an opportunity, goes off the ceiling, doesn't get the flip reset, but still nearly able to get it to go.
Hey, no reset required for this one. The batteries are already included in the package, Captain. fantastic aerial positioning and just the ability of maintaining space and time through the air. Okay, I thought that was the beginning of something beautiful.
Still time. I mean, time is ticking upward, so now we have nothing but time as a big demo coming from the recovery of Akron Blue should relieve a little of the pressure. Here comes Patty, able to get the touch, goes up high, looking for bullseye. They get the touch, but it's going to get cleared out.
Double commits when necessary. This is a huge aspect of Rocket League, knowing when to double commit, because generally you don't want to do that, but right there, 100% necessary, and overtime doth continue.
Yeah, that it does. I mean, right now, it seems like Akron has been in control as far as possession goes here in OT, as now they look to end it here and now! 5 up! Able to put the second goal on with a beautiful shot. Akron Blue take game 1.
Look at that reset. Just a little tappy tap underneath, and Akron Blue is going to deserve this one coming out of overtime. Best of 7 series, yes. An electrifying game 1 win, also yes.
Ooh, that last shot was pretty. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, we're so spoiled now in Rocket League, you know what I mean? Like, we see stuff like that all the time, right? Like, that's not, it's like not surprising anymore. Y'all are spoiled. To me, that's awesome. I can sit there and watch those plays all the time and still be impressed. Like, that was fantastic, especially in OT to end out game number 1. Well done, 5 up. Well-deserved MVP as well. 2 goals to the name, a save, and 3 shots. This shot percentage is nice. Shooting 2 for 3, that can't be bad at that.
Not too shabby at all, Captain. Some fantastic stuff, and Akron Blue takes this one down. Yes, plenty of these goals were set up. Yes, 5 Up had the prettiest goal we've seen on an NECC broadcast for quite a while. Just again, the ability to maintain yourself aerially through that equals out and speaks to thousands of hours probably of Rocket League. Honestly, if he could do that they could do that in hundreds of hours, I'd be upset, because I've been playing for thousands of hours, and I definitely can't. I could probably get lucky like that, but hey, blind squirrels and all that, right, Captain? Talk to me a little bit about this game and what St. Clair could do to bring this game number 2 back. And in saying that makes it sound like this is like a super heavy win for one side. It really wasn't.
Well, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, and again, just remember, be capping, right? So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But with that being said, they just need to get more of the possession game. I mean, think about it. Even with the 1 goal that they had, Akron Blue had a say in it. I'm not going to say definitively it was, you know, at their responsibility, but they were definitely involved. So St. Clair Saints, they just need to take control of the ball again, start taking possession for themselves and keeping it away from Akron Blue. That's something that Akron did really well in game number 1. Even in OT, I made a comment, it felt as though Akron were controlling the ball more often than not.
Ooh, that's still the same progression, and I'd have to agree with you here. Like, as I'm asking the question, I'm really thinking myself, right? But the fact remains that there's really not a whole lot that St. Clair like did wrong in game number 1 to go forth and take an L. And again, it was a 1-score difference, so really not a huge difference between these 2 teams. The competition is electrifying and pretty even-handed here in OT. The only thing you could really think of, Captain, is like, I mean, that one play where they were kind of like tripping up over each other. It wasn't super clear who's going to be taking possession, who's making plays on balls, but these are very easily rectified mistakes.
Yep, and now just about a minute and 15 off the clock. Still scoreless here. Very reminiscent of game number 1. 5 up, looking to find a teammate there, as this one's going to get 50'd and stalled. Can't tell if that one was just good fortune or good defense. Either way, St. Clair managed to keep us scoreless.
Last player back here for the Saints, and 5 Up doesn't like that. A fantastic pass, Patty, right there, just dished up this entire play, set up here by Bullseye.
Yep, when in doubt, pass it back to the paddy wagon. I mean, they're able to get the job done. That's the cleanup crew right there, because you got to keep in mind, all 3 players from Akron were involved. We did get to see a little bit of physical play, and then all of a sudden the pass comes out from the side, and then there's Patty. But hold on, here comes Fopsel to tie us back up.
Wow, so this is Almost exactly, outside of the time, of course, is almost exactly how game number 1 went. So a minor mistake there, right? We kind of see it. Going for demo and then picking up boost instead of playing an errant ball in the middle of this pitch, Captain. Can't be surprised when that one equals into a goal on the scoreboard.
We have been here before. Tie ball game, just over 3 minutes to go. Akron gonna get denied on that last attempt. And now St. Clair on the rebuttal, nearly able to get it to go, but it gets deflected, cleared away. Now the counter attack coming from Patty, trying to find another goal here, as St. Clair are able to recover just in time.
We clear until that one. 5-Up got their work cut out for them as they head skyward. Down bottom, and that should have been a goal right there. Angle not true, just a little bit to the outside.
And regardless, that's still going to contribute to the possession game at a total as 5-Up on a spree tonight. That is their third goal in 2 games.
That I'm not sure which one was flashier. I mean, yeah, the previous one got it done in OT, so the circumstances surrounding may be a little bit more important, but that's the same lead change we saw in overtime. This one just happened during regular time. Good news, St. Clair, you got 2.5 minutes to undo this one.
Yeah, that's plenty of time in Rocket League time. You know, I always like to say a minute in Rocket League is like an hour IRL, right? That's at least how it feels to me when I'm playing the game and I'm on the sticks. Pretty sure it's going to feel that way at the end of this series. 2 minutes remaining. Akron, again, are good for their third.
Patty Wagons, 2 shots, 2 goals here, as this midfield player has just honestly been fantastic. Anything, once it gets hard and heavy right there, it just feels like they're like that forward in basketball. They're just ready to go forth, play under the net.
Well, here we are. We're past the 2-minute mark now. St. Clair down 2. So far, the furthest spread between the two. We have kept it within 1 respectively throughout. So this is the first real big advantage we have seen for Akron as they continue to try and force the issue. Shuffleverse able to take possession, is met by a defender. Now a good 50 from Jazzy. It's going to get cleared away, and I got to tell you, Tugboat, it feels like the defensive rotation from Akron nearly fell apart there.
Yeah, this is a 2-score lead, frequently referred to, of course, Captain's most dangerous lead in Rocket League. Lose one of these, it's a 1-score differential. All kinds of kind of mini overtime situations until that clock strikes 0. But hey, about 75 seconds away from it, a little bit too high. Jazzy can't quite get there, but the second touch, third touch, fourth touch, I don't know. I don't count that high, Captain.
This is why you never give up on the play, because of this. I mean, even after that initial touch off the backboard, you think maybe that third player is going to get back in time, but they can't. They don't. And it's that extra little flip reset to put that one on and in. That's how you have to approach every play. See it through to the very end.
Back to a 1-score difference, Captain. Seeing plays all the way through, gained St. Clair this position. Now seeing this game all the way through is what's going to be required if they don't want to start this best-of-7 series down 2-0.
Well, we could potentially see another OT, but that remains up to the St. Clair Saints if they can manage to find another goal here within the next 40.
Not a super tough task, and no need to raise the alarm bells quite yet, but your strategies have got to be changed in the next 10 seconds, and the more smoothly they transition, the better. But this is still a lot of pressure. 5-Up, right place, right time, whatever you want to call it. That's fantastic. And now on the offense, 5-Up through the air, and we're all holding our breath.
I mean, my goodness, St. Clair Saints have been headhunting since we hit that 30-second mark, looking for the bumps, looking for the demos. I don't even know how that made sense. Was that deliberate? Was it an accident? Regardless, it managed to clear the ball away on what looked like a pretty sketchy touch, and that could very well do it here for game 2. 5-Up getting another touch, trying to put it towards the net. Shuffleverse, though, keeping it alive. Jazzy still with 0 seconds on the clock. The ball is still alive, and finally it dies. My goodness, love the homage to Rule 0. Keep that ball up as long as you can.
Oh, got to. Once again, 5UP just stamps their name onto this game. The way that they were able to keep that alive, like at that 6-second mark, I almost wish it had been a goal for no other reason than we get a replay and I can see how the heck that just happened. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to I'm not diagnose. I'm going to
Whoa.
analyze the shot count for a second because we saw 7 shots from both sides. Both teams were bringing home 7 shots. However, Akron only recovered 2 saves to the 5 that came from St. Clair. So what that's telling me is St. Clair is having opportunities to score, but they're missing their shots.
Yeah, and it's just about transitioning those attempts into goals. I know it sounds so simple. It sounds so 1 + 1 = 2 here, but at these higher levels of Rocket League, I promise you, it's anything but simple. Especially, I mean, I hate to keep harking on the same player, man, but 5UP, the way that they move through the air is just absolutely inspirational and gotta be completely just dominating to play against here because it seems like whatever was required, 5UP can get it done when it comes to passing this ball through the air.
Yeah, what about the paddy wagon, though? Showing up on the cleanup quite a few times. You know, again, showing up on the offense. And then not only that, but also came in clutch on the defense as well. You know, again, kind of a little bit of a little bit of a background character. I mean, they definitely show up when you need them most.
Got to. A little bit of pressure right now. Okay, so that looked a little bit dangerous for St. Clair for a second, but hey, maybe this danger ain't over with.
Honestly, that was a great play. I like the idea behind it, just trying to carry it out towards the mid, go for the pinch. The defense from St. Clair, though, simply was not having it. Patty going right back to work here, doing a little bit of mind trickery. I like what you did there. Some fancy car work, as it were, as now the pressure is once again on the St. Clair Saints. Bullseye sends it up just a wee bit too high, and it doesn't matter because who else but Patty there to clean things up and put this one in.
Who else but Patty? I love it. And this is just a simple act of Patty kind of pre-reading this out / of course getting the ball passed, and St. Clair doesn't really have anybody either on the backboard or down low that's pre-jumped up to this, and they get nothing more than a front row seat to the first score of this game 3.
We'll take a look at this, wasting no time at all. Akron already going right back on the attack, right back on the offensive. Shuffleverse playing a little bit of mind games of their own, able to get past 1, can't get past 2. Jazzy with a little boost in the tank, can't get past 5UP, as that one is going to go back to the other side of the pitch, and now Bullseye will take over.
St. Clair Saints defense has been playing shut down so far outside of the one mistake, but I mean, that is what we always say, right? These higher level teams, not like a massive skill difference or anything else like that. It comes in, it's just how quickly and how efficiently they can capitalize upon mistakes.
Yeah, I was about to say the biggest skill diff in any Rocket League match is going to be the difference between the players on the field and the commentators in the booth, and I stand by that.
It's entirely fair. All 6 of these players have done something through the air in the past 15 seconds that I may have done accidentally at some point in my Rocket League career.
We'll take a look at this. No need for the flip reset, no double touches, nothing fancy, no musty flicks. Just a nice old tap into the back of the net. You can't beat the classics, Tugboat.
You can't. Now, I could do that one, Captain. Yeah. that one I'm capable of doing.
I would still miss.
So miss and own goal somehow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you, I can make shots in my own net that are really impressive, but for some reason I can't do it in going in the right direction. However, it looks like Akron are only going into one direction themselves. They're only going towards the net of St. Clair.
Now, I can surprise my teammates, not in a good way, but out to the corner here. Patty bringing this out, 5UP, fantastic job from Akron Blue, reading this out and always leaving a player in the middle here. Rotations, right?
Yeah, especially the defensive rotation, and that's something I harped on a little bit there in games 1 and 2. Again, the defensive rotation and the recovery from Akron is pretty impressive. Like, yes, they're spending a majority of their time on the offense, but when I've noticed that they did have to recover, the defensive rotation and positioning has always been on point. And I think it kind of gets, you know, overlapped in discussion. Like, everybody's talking about, you know, offensive positioning, offensive rotation, but defensive positioning and rotation is just as important.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you're not crisp at those, you're just going to get punished, and nobody really likes playing high, like super high scoring games. That is so close. That should have been in. St. Clair not done with it though. The second effort is like a little bit too, like, I'm not going to say not too courageous. Oh, that was so close. And then the second effort again. Both teams putting up solid efforts, but not able to finish through.
Again, that wasn't just the example of the defensive rotation that we were talking about. Again, like, we saw St. Clair just attacking the net of Akron Blue over and over and over and over again, but somehow Akron managed to get save after save after save. And then also, you know, the clears, the touches. And then when you are able to get these saves, get these clears, they turn into offense. And that's where we have seen Akron the majority of these games.
Oh, Jazzy up and down. Beautiful effort there from the St. Clair Saints and Jazzy. This is a solo effort. I mean, yeah, Fabso you know, assists in there, and obviously just the simple presence of these players are going to kind of draw defenders, like, you know, towards them, away from net, yada yada. But just again, a singular effort and a fantastic job. A 2-score lead gets dusted down to just one.
Let's see. Again, this is a place of familiar territory. In game number 1, it led to an overtime. Game number 2, it led to an Akron dub. Let's see which history at all will repeat itself. Just 30 seconds remaining, Tugboat.
Yeah, and this is the St. Clair squad. They don't like the history books. They're trying to rewrite them right now. Taking a dub right now, going 3-0 in the series. I gotta say it. I know casters say it all the time, but if that's the case, that will not feel like a 3-0 series. If the scoreline remains the same, we'll be looking at a 1-score difference. So I just really... Okay, never mind. 2-score difference here for the Akron Blue squad is Bullseye. Just follows this up. I mean, 5-up just trying to do 5-up things. And again, I feel like because this player is so capable of doing this stuff, and because they have so frequently turned it into goals, you just have to respect it a little bit more. And as those resources are dedicated into that defensive positioning and that defensive stand against 5-up, then you lead to positions where there's not a player covering the net otherwise. So 3-1 difference, the biggest score difference in this series so far.
I thought that was the score difference in game 2, or did St. Clair manage to find one at the end?
No, it was 3-2.
3-2. You're right.
That's what I wrote down. I'm pretty sure.
No. You're right. It's my memory. It's not what it used to be. Again, yes. Regardless, fantastic game coming from Akron. That is going to be a total of 9 shots in comparison to the 7 coming from St. Clair. And now you're thinking, well, you know, a 2-shot difference, that's really not that big until you look at the goal score. When you see that it's a 2-goal difference, all of a sudden that 2-shot count looks like a big 2.
Yeah, and I think it's like so telling, right? That Bullseye has the most shots in the team, 2 scores out of 3, and they still have the least amount of points. This is how well-rounded a squad that Akron Blue is playing right now. We all know it. You know, higher level Rocket League, there's not necessarily a goalie. There's not exactly like a forward. There's not exactly a midfielder that's always trying to feed balls and nothing like that. It's just the player who's closest to the ball at the time. And you have to have these well-rounded squads. If Rocket League is a competition of having the most well-rounded squad, Akron is deserving of their 3-0 lead right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that I have to point out is that every single goal that Akron had came from an assist. It came from the pass. Like you had even mentioned that, you know, we saw that Fiverr was in the second place spot with 0 goals. Bullseye had 2 goals and still had the fewest amount of points. Fiverr was in the middle with 2 assists, no goals.
Yep. Like, just setting those up again. I mean, we say it all the time, these higher level Rocket League games is so infrequent that a single player is going to take a ball, cross mid-pitch, and then get it in themselves. Just so infrequent.
Well, here comes Bullseye, and they left the net home alone. The St. Clair Saints get the lead for the first time in the series.
Does that count as a caster's curse? I'm pretty sure that counts as the caster's curse.
I don't know. I would say yes, but at the same time, no, 100%. Like, I agree, but I feel like Akron was asking for it. You know, I kind of feel like it's on them too.
I have to agree. We were talking earlier and like just lauding compliments upon when it came to the defensive rotations and stuff, and Akron just simply was not there in every way, shape, or form. This is again indicative, high level. You know, you make a single mistake, it's punished super hardcore. That is the recurring theme of this match.
Yep, and we will continue on. A minute gone. St. Clair still holding on to the 1-goal lead. Now the touch towards Amanda, looking to make it 2. Shuffleverse. Had they not been taken out by 5 up, that would have been a second St. Clair goal.
Really would have. And this is exactly what this St. Clair squad is really going to be looking for right now, right? This is possibly their elimination game. Of course, Akron needs 2 of them to make that a reality. Now a pass, little backboard action, a great feed for a solid, or what should have been a solid clear. Actually misses that one. Now Patty, little pressure, pass action, and another one, 5 up and in.
This was, you know what? I'd hate to overstate it, but it felt like perfection. You know, from the first touch coming from Patty, it looked as though that they might have gone for the air drag. But then they saw that they weren't going to be able to take the shot themselves, and then they dumped it perfectly to 5 up. And my goodness, it just made for just such a textbook perfect play.
Really was. I mean, as good as it gets, right? Now Akron needs to conjure up another one of those. St. Clair needs about 2 of those to really feel good about leaving this game leaving it with a 3-1 victory, because if they don't, that's going to be it for the series. And again, it just doesn't feel like a 4-0 series by any means, man.
It really doesn't. Again, the majority of these games have been within 1 goal. Only one game, which was game 3, ended in a 2-goal difference. That's it. Everything else has been within 1. Our very first game went into overtime. Again, this has been, you know, a true tug of war. If you weren't looking at the series scoreline, you would assume that we were neck and neck right now.
Fantastic effort there from Jazzy. Bullseye and a teammate kind of meet in the middle to a conjoined effort on this defensive block. From the corner right now, trying to get up to it. Oh, man, the demo was there, and the second hit, the follow-up hit from the other player, was not. That could have been a fancy, flashy, and really impactful St. Clair goal. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's kind of the double-edged sword of demolitions, right? Is that smoke screen makes it a little bit difficult to try and get a read on the ball. As now you can see St. Clair trying to get a read on this one here in Akron territory. Jazzy, opportunity maybe, gets denied. Patty sends this one back over towards the mid. Shuffleverse able to receive. The follow-up shot is a little wide.
Yeah, just a little wide, but a fast one right there. Everybody kind of dashing to it. Jazzy, honest shot attempt. It's hit skyward. The backboard tries to get played, and speaking of backboard, okay, Akron, again, kind of joins with a teammate to get a concerted effort on that hit. Now out to the middle, Bullseye tries to follow this one up, looking for a pass the other way, but they've got to get back, and the defense, they got to get back there like right now.
Yeah, Akron looking a little shaky here, I'm not going to lie. I mean, we've seen a couple of double commits, big bump, and Bullseye able to come through with a Savior medal, but it won't be enough. Shuffleverse able to take the lead for St. Clair.
Yeah, I don't want to be too negative. This almost felt inevitable after a certain point. St. Clair has been playing offense just categorically different the past 2 minutes or so, Captain.
Yeah, it kind of felt like, you know, Akron just slipped on the sticks a little bit in that, because they got bunched up in the corner there towards the end. But regardless, it was the overwhelming presence of St. Clair that eventually led to their go-ahead goal. The second time in the series, St. Clair have taken the lead, and now just over 50 seconds remaining for Akron to try and even the odds.
Tries to foist this one back to the middle. Easier said than done, that task. Out to the corner, down by 1 is not a situation Akron has found themselves in very frequently in this series, and they've undone that before that clock strikes 0 every time thus far. Well, actually, I take that back. We went to overtime once, didn't we?
Yep, game one. Game number one, we went to OT. And it feels like, you know, it has literally just been neck and neck ever since. But hold the phone! Looking to find the rebuttal. 5UP, able to hit it off the backboard, but will be denied. Again, fantastic play from Akron, but an even better defense from St. Clair.
Just a hair too short. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit right there. Last bounce coming in just a second, perhaps. Nope, we're not going to get one. There you go. St. Clair brings this one back from the brink.
Well, there we go. We now have a pulse. We have a sign of life from St. Clair, and they managed to strike back. Looking this time at 11 shots. A lot better. Again, we were talking about the possession game. It was Akron constantly taking possession. This time, possession goes to St. Clair. 11-6.
Wow, yeah.
5-shot differential. Honestly, Akron should be considering themselves lucky that, you know, it's only a 2-1 scoreline with a shot count like that.
I have to agree with you, especially with individual, like, it's 6 between 2 players as well, right? Bullseye, I think, got 5 shots attempted in the previous game. They're just completely shutting down that player. Yes, it was partially like physical play, demos and stuff like this. Yes, partially it's, you know, all the aerial acrobatics that they can do. But it's just like a whole well-rounded categorical shift offensively for the side of the St. Clair Saints green that yielded this this most recent scoreline. Gotta love it, gotta love it. And I have to wonder if this is will lightning strike twice kind of thing, or have they figured it out?
Again, I think that's up to them, because keep in mind, you know, Akron have been on the offensive for the majority of this series, and that was the first time when they were confined into their own half. They were forced to recover 7 saves, if I saw correctly. Could be mistaken, but it looked like 7 saves. So again, if Akron get held into their own half again, they could potentially lose this next matchup. They have got to start putting that pressure back onto St. Clair if they want to end things.
Yeah, you just have to. Like pressure creates diamonds. Pressure also forces your opponents to make mistakes. And if there's one recurring theme we've established throughout this match, I want you to remember, folks, it's that the team that makes the least mistakes will generally win Rocket League games. Speaking of mistakes, there's a St. Clair Saints defensive player that was trying an incredibly flashy play for little reason.
You know, I was gonna say there were no mistakes made, but you know what? Yeah, I mean,
yeah, like,
what are you gonna do? I mean, yeah, a little bit unnecessary, but you know, I get it. But at the same time, when you try and go for the squishy save, as I've always called it, again, I don't know what kids are calling it these days, but when you go for plays like that, you know, it's very, you have a tell. Like, the person taking the shot could clearly see where you were going, and all they had to do was put the shot towards the bottom in the corner of the net, which is a lot easier than to put it in the upper 90, so to speak.
Like, I understand trying to get up there, but you know you're the last player back, and they're going to see you. I don't want to harp on it too much, my bad. 60 seconds into this one. Akron Blue up 1-0. Little demo action, again, theme we've seen established across the first couple games of the series.
Yep, here comes 5UP. Nice touch, goes off the backboard, gets cleared away. Bullseye, back to their teammate! Oh my! 5UP able to find the shot on for Akron Blue.
Look at this angle, dude. Look at this angle. If it's any farther to the right, then Shuffle gets a block. Any farther to the left, this is going to hit post and, like, you know, maybe still get there, right? Because it's going to, like, drop out towards the middle of this goal. But we'd still at least be seeing it, and there'd still be defensive efforts. Perfectly slotted, and Akron Blue back to their winning ways.
I don't even remember how 5UP ended up there. Did they deliberately, like, fly and land there? I could have swore they got bumped. I'll have to go back and look at the replay, because they, again, right place, right time, 5UP just shows up.
5UP just shows up. Love it. See how this continues, and if the St. Clair squad's able to answer here, because the hole that they've dug for themselves here, Captain, across the first 3 games means a full reverse sweep necessary if they're to take this series.
Well, they got plenty of time to do it. That's about a goal per minute to try and take the lead here over Akron. FAPSO. Not a lot of boost in the tank to try to follow this one up. It does get pinched out back towards the side. Big demo. Gonna get knocked down here. FAPSO now officially out of boost. has to give up possession as this one's going to go right back in towards the St. Clair territory.
Fabso. Little fancy footwork, goes for the defender, bullseye, perfect read on this. You're like, whoa, hang on, this is developing into something that I do not want.
I'll be honest, it was kind of hard to call that because the ball was just constantly going back and forth. Both teams seemed like they just kept forfeiting possession over and over and over again. It was like the ball was just kind of listing there towards the midfield, and it kind of feels like that's where we are now. Again, just over 2 minutes left to go. St. Clair, they have got to try and get possession back. They are running out of time.
Got to. Do or die. I mean, it's 2 minutes, and so, again, a smooth transition from strategy to strategy is what this St. Clair squad should strive for. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't want to find themselves... There you go! Finally, the setup's hit. 102 seconds left, and St. Clair was only down by 1.
Yeah, great read from Jazzy there out towards the mid, able to get the read and jump in time to find the answer and give St. Clair their first goal here in Game 5. But will it be enough? The follow-up shot is there, but it just goes a tidbit too high.
Just a tad. Gonna be enough to buy Akron Blue a little bit more time, though. This is ball you have to respect. There it is. Okay, so it comes to the corner, and Patty and the rest of Akron Blue kind of get caught flat-footed on this one. Only one player back.
Yeah, looking a little dangerous right now. Finally, Akron able to get the touchdown back towards the mid. Here comes Jazzy. Jazzy likes to score from the wall. They're going to look for a pass. Gets broken up by Bullseye, and it's going to go the other way.
Attempted demo right there. Shuffle actually jumps to the perfect time and ends up in the perfect place. Ooh, barely. Fabso really shining through. Fabso's not a player we talked too much about in the first couple of games, but a player that has really showed up in the latter half of the series.
Yep, that they have, and they've been doing a pretty good job at, patrolling on the defensive side. Again, we have seen quite a few attempts coming from Akron Blue, and it just keeps getting disrupted more often than not by Fabso. As Speak of the Devil able to hit this one right back down into Akron territory. The follow-up is there, but it's no good.
Unfortunate. So close they could taste it. Would have loved to have it. 20 seconds to go right here. St. Clair knocking on the door right now, and that is probably the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Now, don't get me wrong. If St. Clair managed to get a kickoff goal, then you know what? We're back in the conversation. But again, you literally have to score on this kickoff. Otherwise, like you had mentioned, it's just about done and dusted. Yeah,
so 16 seconds. That's going the wrong way. They come up, get a big clear right here. Nah, I'm going to say this series, unfortunately. Well, okay, yeah, this series is over. Now not enough time, because even if you kept the ball aloft, once the next kickoff comes, yada yada, nothing doing. A 3-1 victory for Akron Blue and a 4-1 victory in the series, excuse me. Had to do some quick maths there. Even though St. Clair put up some solid numbers in the last, right?
Yeah, they definitely did. Again, they were able to strike back on the offensive side when it comes to the shot count. Final shot count in that game, 10-6, which again, 6 shots, definitely a step up. Again, St. Clair, they really stepped up their offense there in game number 4, but Akron went and stepped theirs up too. That was the problem. They hit the double digits. They managed to put 10 shots on the board. And more often than not, it does happen where it doesn't go into the way of the shot count, but it usually does. This time, it certainly does in the favor of Akron Blue.
Yeah, so a little bit of his quality quantity, but at the end of the day, man, the best efforts from St. Clair, which was changing up their offense a lot and just really, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, just working together better, right? There's less solo efforts and more passing plays here. But at the end, unfortunately, all for naught. A 4-1, gotta say it, 4-1 series, doesn't feel like it. 1-score differences in, 2 of the games going down to 3-1. So really nobody getting shut out completely, obviously, or nobody just really getting shut down.
Yeah, regardless, that is going to be the end of our first matchup of the night. Going the way of Akron Blue, and a good way to kick things off for us tonight. We are going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we still have 2 more series left to go, and we'll be right back here on the NECC right after this.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in here?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Motlin?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst.
Nothing cuts quite like a memory, especially one that you're trying to forget. But I can't find the energy to rewind and reset. I know you don't wanna be used, but you use me to build up. You build up to break me down. How does it feel? How does it feel to knock me around? I won't make a sound. I won't make a sound until I hit the ground. I won't make a sound. So don't shoot me down. Alright, we're not broken. We're just getting off the ground. Afraid of the Sometimes I lack the bravery, 'cause I know I fear the end. One day we'll see a victory. Carry on until the sun will set. To break me down. How does it feel? How does it feel to knock me around? I won't make a sound. I won't make a sound until I hit the ground. I won't make a sound. So don't shoot me down. Alright, we're not broken. We're just getting off the ground. I hope you're better
I would've gone through hell and back to make my
to you. I gotta get to you.
Well, hello and welcome back to more Rocket League here on the NECC. I am Captain NECC, joined by none other than FBI Tugboat. Tugboat, we're one series in, two more to go. How are we feeling after game number one, man?
Feeling great, feeling great. It wasn't as long a series as we would have hoped for how competitive it was, given that it was just barely avoided the 4-0 sweep, with Akron Blue dropping a game, against the St. Clair Green squad. Would hope for some more of that here in this match number 2 between Lander University and Florida Tech Crimson. Previous was Division 1, this will be Division 2.
Yep, well, here we are coming from the side of Lander University. We're going to have Papa Pack, followed by Slimina. Yeah, someone's going to correct me, I'm sure. And then, of course, Repeat. And on the side of Florida Tech Crimson, we have Dimes, Alo, and Sloth.
Love it, love it. Big shout out Coach Faust over there with Lander University. Big shout out Momo Speedy Space Boy over there for the Florida Tech Crimson squad. These kind of competitions here for these scholastic esports organizations do not happen without you guys, without y'all, without you people, without all of you. The coaches and managers, teachers that get involved and help these young people along their esports journey.
Parents too. Again, I see a lot of parents out there, supporting, these young student athletes in their esport endeavors. My parents would never, because they don't know what an esport is. So we got to give thanks where thanks is due for those that know what esports is all about. Big shout out to everybody involved, without whom this would be impossible. But looking forward to getting into this one, just because we are in the postseason, and every single game we get here in the playoffs starts to give us a clue, a piece of the puzzle on what potentially our semifinals and eventually grand finals might look like.
Yeah, I have to, again, upper quarters here, so either of these teams that might not take a W on the day will go forth and still have a second opportunity throughout this Division 2 playoff run. Lander University looked fantastic during the regular season. They're meeting a team that looks, I gotta say, like pretty much just as good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to see a little bit of Texas Tech. Don't get me wrong, I've seen some Lander University too, just not as much as I would have liked. So again, I've seen them play a couple of teams, but again, I don't feel like I've garnered enough information to say whether or not Lander is going to come through take the dub. I can't feel that way about Florida Tech either. This could go either way, but I have seen Florida Tech play a couple of more matches, against a couple of different teams, and I got to tell you, they're pretty formidable. But like you had said, Lander University, they did fairly well during the regular season.
Yeah, we'll see how this kind of continues on with this one. If I remember right, is it Slimy NA? I think it was Slimy NA, if I remember right. Slimy NA, if I remember right, was the big heavy hitter for this Lander University squad. Florida Tech, I have not casted in quite some times. I believe Dimes is the player that I remember, and Sloth, although that might be a more common esports tag. May not be the Sloth that I remember.
Yeah, it's like seeing Seb, the gamer tag Seb. I know off hand at least like 10 Sebs I've come across in Rocket League. One of which a fellow commentator, a fellow esports caster.
Awesome guy. Awesome guy. Love Seb Dot.
Very
I think
Canadian.
that's how he's gone forth and like differentiated. I think it's Seb Dot. I'm not sure now, but yeah, you have 100% good point. There's a lot of a lot of common names. Now you let me know, Captain Atsoka, if you find another FBI_tugboat though.
I haven't. I have not found another FBI tugboat. Maybe another tugboat out there, but none that have been registered with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Whoa. No actual connection. No actual connection.
No actual connection.
I've been thinking about making like a public statement because I've gotten asked that like plenty. I thought it was really obvious that like, obviously, come on guys. The FBI, and also if that was the case, why would I have it as my tag? But you still get the question pretty frequently, Captain.
I bet you do, officer. Or agent.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Gonna have to watch what I say around this one. But regardless, you know what? I get the same thing all the time. Like, why do you call yourself Captain? You know what? Because I have an origin story. And I'm not gonna tell it because it's a long one. But don't worry about it. You know why I have Captain in my gamer tag? Because it's not your gamer tag. Alright, so don't worry about it. If you want to put Captain in yours, cool, go ahead and do that. I wasn't the first one to do it. I'm just saying. I just like it. And again, there's an origin story to that, but for that, you would just have to subscribe for $5.99. No, I'm kidding. I'm 100% joking. there is no digital book of the Captain Atsoka origin story. 1, because I didn't write it. Because 2, no one would read it. Regardless, so I will tell you though, Atsoka is my last name spelled backwards. That I will give that one away for free.
Okay. I like it. FBI Tugboat came from older kids telling me that I had to change my gamer tag to play in like a Halo clan with them, and then it was $7.99 if I remember right to change your gamer tag after that, and I did not want to do that after like I stopped playing Halo so much and like freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, and there was a point in time in the competitive gaming / esports world where Halo was the top title. It was during the MLG days.
That was it.
Yeah, during the MLG days, it was all about Halo and then Call of Duty, But without further ado, let's get back to Rocket League. Lander University taking on Florida Tech Crimson. Game number 1 underway.
Number 1 on way. Let's get it going. A little bit of pressure here early against Lander University, and that's not pressure that's going to finish quite yet. A bouncing ball and slime. See, that is the perfect time to do one of those when you have teammates around.
Absolutely. There's a time and place for everything. As you can see, Florida Tech are now going to force the issue. Can't tell if that was a deliberate back pass, but it was still a good one, intentional or not. Now the pressure back on to Lander University. As they try and get out of their own half, a pinch will give them just that.
Yeah, there you go. A nice pinch right there. That breathes just like a little bit more wiggle room at the end of the day. At the beginning of some of these competitions, that's really all you want. Lander right there, though, gets in the first as Pack hits a nice one to the middle.
Yep, I love the give and go here between Slime and Pack. It starts out with Pack in the midfield. Nice little dump there to Slime. Slime right back to Pack, and how about that? It's a Lander University 1-0 lead.
Well done. Early lead garnered here for Lander. Can they hold on to it? A little bit of physical play. That was almost the second one. Sloth getting this one before it was able to fully eclipse.
Ooh, there goes Pete.
My God.
The homie Pete able to come through and find the second here for Lander.
Wow. Just had to rewatch that one a little bit, man. Just perfectly slotted all the way in, then like followed it up. Like you said, like you want to always play your own rebound, right?
Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's always risky business trying to go off the crossbar, right? But if you run that and, in free play enough and you've done your training packs, you could play off the crossbar all day. But again, that's the most fickle friend in Rocket League, and sometimes your worst enemy is that dreaded crossbar. So kudos on Pete for being on the good side of the crossbar today.
Fantastic stuff. And a little bit of that is positioning. A lot of that is just fantastic Rocket League. 2-0 lead nonetheless here for Lander University as we're 90 seconds into this one. Halo? They're trying to come back for it. I think they kind of realized that Sloth was getting targeted right there for the demo. Wanted to come back and buy a little more space in the backfield.
Yeah, well, here we are back in Lander University territory. Florida Tech trying to push the line ever so forward. And not going to be any good as this one's going to get cleared out. Now Florida Tech have to recover back towards the mid. Here comes Slime off the backboard. The touch is there, but goes a little high.
It's a little bit too high to get something going with it. Try for something else here as Florida Tech try as they might. Now this isn't the good side of the pitch for them. A bouncing ball and still gets cleared.
Yeah, right now Pete trying to wave dash their way to victory. Did pretty well, but got stopped at the mid. Still possession in their favor. Pete now able to take this one off the backboard. Looking for a teammate in the mid. Nobody home. Everyone dropped back towards at least that midfield line, and now we're going the other way.
Be able to see how this one goes off the wall right now. Slime tries to get this to Pete. Slime back in the middle. The give and go at least attempted again. That has already garnered them 1 goal thus far, Soka.
Yeah, and you know what? Lander can afford to do this. They're up 2 goals, right? So they can toss the ball back and forth as much as they want, and by all means, take as much off the clock as possible. It's Florida Tech that cannot afford this right now. Just over 1:45 remaining, and they are still scoreless. So they can't afford, you know, the banter, the back and forth. They have to take the ball, and they have to move it into the net of Lander University.
Saying and doing right here. A little bit different stories in Crimson Tech. Soon enough, their main opponent is really going to be this clock here at Soka. Not necessarily the Lander University trio.
Yep, that's the benefit of having that 2-goal cushion. Having that 2-goal lead, 1:15 now. Lander University have just been holding with an iron fist this 2-goal lead. Florida Tech, honestly, I can't remember. I mean, I'm sure they've had, but it just doesn't feel like they've had too many solid attempts on the net. And now Lander is going to find their third.
Wow, yeah, and so this problem just gets a little bit bigger. A molehill made into a mountain now. 3 scores, 60 seconds. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough time.
I mean, again, you can, yes, by all means. But, you know, considering what we have seen for the last 4 minutes, it's unlikely we're going to see a big change in the last 60 seconds. So, again, you know, 'tis hoping, but right now, Lander University, they have just been in full control here for game number 1.
And it's just about controlling this ball, not allowing your opponents to go forth and get anything done on your side of the pitch. If that is a recipe for success in Rocket League, Lander University is going to be cooking up something nice.
Well, the good news is that this is a best of 7, so still plenty of games left to go for Florida Tech to make some corrections, and it's never too late to start here in game number 1. Florida Tech get their first goal on the board.
Okay. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. Sloth puts this over. Slime does get a hand on it. It's not a good enough angle to make anything but a goal be the result of that offensive effort. 22 seconds. This just got a little bit easier.
Yep, that it did. Still going to be a tough ask, though, because Lander University, again, they've been strong-arming the possession game. Again, the air drag there. Going to leave only 10 seconds left on the clock, and now Pack trying to put the pressure on. They don't even have to try and score anymore. They just got to run out the remaining second here. Is the ball still alive? As this one's going to go round and round, and finally it will hit the ground. Lander University take game 1.
Round and round now, hit the ground. Lander, a little bit more of a definitive win here, 3-1, and even that 1 score for Florida Tech kind of seemed like it was just, like, came by almost haphazardly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, regardless, though. Ooh, you know what? Big shout out to Ayla real quick. I didn't mean to just completely abandon the subject, but those are the new RLCS titles, right? You know, like, yeah, like the Baby Blues. Those are brand new. Like, they just dropped, I think, this season.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, so obviously this coming from, you know, other kinds of Rocket League competitions, we'll say, but fantastic. And I always like cosmetics, and maybe you feel me on this one, because I think we might be kind of from the same generation of esports player here. But cosmetics in general are not something that I'm like, I don't get super up in arms about cosmetics generally, right? When it comes to stuff like that, though, because it's like, it's not just a cosmetic, you get it by, competing instead and going forth and doing well, right? Which is, that is the top competition in the land. That's the kind of cosmetics that is like, that's that next level, at least for me.
The reason being is because it's unlike the other cosmetics that where you could just purchase it from the shop, right? Or you could trade. I don't even know what trading is now in Rocket League, but you get my point. It's not something that you could purchase. It's not something that's easily unlocked. It comes from years of dedication. And you know what? I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit. I have a CRL analyst tag. Took me 5 years. 5 years to get it. So you best believe it's the only tag I will be putting on my profile for the rest of my Rocket League playing days.
It's like a badge of honor, right? It's like saying, like, I have done enough in this game to have been recognized by the developers as such. I think there's a lot to be said for that, Ahsoka, and I'd be proud of that if I was you.
Oh, I'm the same way with my GC titles too. Like, I've never hit Supersonic Legend. I actually retired from competitive Rocket League the season SSL came out, but I have a GC title from season 17 to I think 14. So the original yellow titles, like I was still proud of those as well, because anybody that can earn any of those titles should be proud, because you do have to put in the work to get them.
You really do. I mean, getting to Grand Champion in of itself is a task, but getting it like acknowledged outside of that, you just gotta feel good, right?
Oh, absolutely. But with that being said, still many titles to be earned. Unfortunately, not here, but you do get the title of NECC champion if you happen to make it the full distance, and that could be one of these teams here, as you can see right now. Lander University, once again, back on the attack.
Yeah, so this Division 2 upper quarters, again, best of 7. You can see by the little dots right there. Well done, and big shout out to Exotic. That is our producer on the day, making our jobs as casters that much easier and very much appreciative. 3 minutes, 42 seconds left here. That's Pete moving through the air right now, trying to get to this other corner, but that's a lot easier said than done. It looks like Florida Tech Panthers here have just figured out a lot more about Lander's offense and isn't giving the same opportunities that they just so willingly gave over in Game 1. Well,
yeah, this time looking a lot better. It's looking a lot better for Florida Tech, though, because I'm seeing a lot more pressure. Granted, it hasn't led to many shots on target, but at least they're spending less time in their own half, and, they're putting that pressure onto Lander, as now that follow-up was looking pretty good for a second.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Florida Tech honestly just needs more extended offensive plays, really. Obviously, it's easier to say, oh, hey, just possess the ball longer than to actually do it, but that really has been their issue. They just, whether it's one person getting their pocket picked or it's another just not really completing a pass that has, like, a clear goal. And I don't mean, like, a point, but I mean, like, a clear theme, a clear, like, desired outcome. You understand what I'm saying? Like that right there, they just put it over the corner, and then it's just going to get picked up mid-pitch, and Lander's going to be able to continue their offense, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, it's so easy to say, get good, scrub, but it's a lot more complicated than that at the end of the day, I mean, clearly, we're over half of regulation still scoreless, and at this point in time, in the previous matchup, Lander had already scored, and Lander are going to score again. 1 goal early for Lander University.
A little bit about no scores on boards quite yet. What a roller right here. 71 miles an hour as Pete strikes first for Lander University. Will this be a kind of a floodgates opening situation? That's my question, because that's what it seemed like in game number 1.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in game number 2. I mean, again, I can already tell that from game number 1, Florida Tech has made several improvements. Granted, it hasn't exactly, led to a lot on the scoreboard, but again, it's leading to less opportunity for Lander. And we have seen that reflected in how much time we have spent scoreless. It was over a complete regulatory half, and Lander finally now being able to score. So even though that, they're still down 1, they are making improvements in real time, and I just don't see Lander, opening those floodgates on them again.
I think a lot of that was Lander just figuring things out that they really liked here, and now we're going to have, I mean, so far we have seen this, and I think it's going to continue, to have a much more competitive Rocket League match. 3 scores, especially down 3-0, and getting your 1 score almost as a consolation goal, like, I think it was 24 seconds outside of triple zeros. Yeah, that is not going to be a feels good, man.
Well, Florida Tech looking to try and find a feels good, as this one's going to get redirected right back into Lander territory. Slime able to hit this one up on high. looking to catch their own touch, and they do. Back out towards the corner. Here comes Pete, as that one's going to pinch just a little bit too ferociously towards the mid, but Lander University, again, keeping the pressure on as that shot goes wide.
And not going to happen so easily right there as the fight continues. 41 seconds as of right now as Lander puts another one up. Slime fakes it, and Pack's shot from mid-pitch. Gonna land a second, and what might be the dagger to the heart of Florida Tech's Game 2.
That is the second goal made by Lander from the midfield line or beyond. So that is telling me there's a problem in defensive rotation for Florida Tech, because that's 2 goals they left open. Speaking of which, how about leaving a goal open on the kickoff?
Okay. Yeah, a little surprising right there. Perhaps this is just what the doctor ordered. Perhaps Florida Tech's just great off the kickoff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they definitely do have kickoff-heavy teams. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I've seen teams that get the majority of their goals off the kickoff sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Regardless, though, 30 seconds remaining. Florida Tech trailing by 1, still very much in this ball game until Pack finds another. Okay, now those floodgates are opening. Very reminiscent of Game 1 within the last 30 seconds.
Nicely done. Wow, yeah, so this is just going to be just a tiny bit too high for the defensive player, and I think the difference kind of shining through there again. Florida Tech just needs to do a little bit better of a job of rotating back and not trying to cheat up, steal that space. You know what I'm saying? That this was literally the difference of like half a car length.
Yeah, I mean, they got caught out. Again, that was pretty much what I was alluring to earlier with the first 2 goals from Lander were from midfield and beyond. They kept finding no one home in the net. And again, we're not seeing a good amount of defensive rotation and recovery from Florida Tech, and that's what leads to a lot of these open net opportunities. As now you can see the clock has officially hit 0, and this game is pretty much done and dusted here in game number 2. Lander University will get their 2nd win here in the series.
Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say that it may not, like the scoreline 3-1, this did not feel like the same game that we just saw in the first of these, right? Now, Slimel not getting a single shot attempt in there is a little bit concerning until, Captain, you look at those assists. All 3 scores, 2 from Pack, 1 from Pete, assisted there from Slime. No offense necessary. Now you look at the other side, and there's kind of two coins, right? Or 2 sides of the same coin. It's like, oh, they have 100% shooting efficiency, right?
Yes.
But they only have 1 shot attempted. 1 shot attempted
Yeah.
across an entire 5-minute Rocket League game. That's untenable.
I agree. And one thing I will say, I do think Slime was the unsung hero there at the bottom of their scorecard for their team with a Playmaker medal. And to me, that's my favorite medal in Rocket League. I say it like a million times. I say it every time it comes up because, again, I just love the Playmaker medals, getting 3 assists on the board. Keep in mind, the only player on that in that last game that got 100% goal participation. 100. Well, actually, no. The person that scored on the other side,
Yeah.
you know, Florida Tech, they got 100% goal participation. But that's not what I mean. What I'm talking about is on their side of the pitch, getting 100% goal participation on 3 goals without taking a single shot.
Yes. That is a tough stat line. That is a tough stat line. It's like if you're predicting like final score lines, you're like, hey, this guy's gonna have 3 assists. This player's gonna have 3 assists. Excuse me. How many shots attempts do you think they're gonna have? It's like, well, I would not guess 0. How about that?
Yeah, because a lot of the time, assists come from missed shots, and Slime this time is gonna get theirs. I mean, not even a missed shot. This one's on target, a little bit unorthodox, but as you know, the old adage goes, we take those.
We take those. Lander University strikes first again. I gotta say, weeks past the regular season seemed like on paper it wasn't gonna be as competitive. Tonight, man, I mean, we're looking at some domination. I gotta say it. I'm not trying to be too negative here. Florida Tech, I mean, 2 scores, 2 scores against 19 seconds. I mean, earlier, Akron Blue, St. Clair Green, they started off, it seemed like super competitive. Overtime game 1, a 1-score difference in game number 2, but it was all for naught and came down to a 5-game series out of a best of 7, 5 games only. I mean, there's only 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah, Slime didn't take any shots in the previous game, and now they're, you know, I think it's their turn
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because now they're 2 for 2. Granted, I saw at least one come off the assist. Came off the pass. I want to say it was, I think it was from Packer. I mean, I don't know. They both have P's in their name. Couldn't catch it. But regardless, the team synergy is flowing on the side of Lander, and they're letting Slime get their shots in. That was nearly a hat trick.
Wow, yeah. So that ball flirting dangerously right there with the net, but all for Nada's dimes. Comes up to try and get this one. Double tap, and Pete is 1 for 1 as well, Captain.
Yeah, right now what we are seeing is just locked in Lander. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. They've gotten, and this is why I say that momentum in Rocket League is probably a bigger factor than most other esports. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you definitely have esports where momentum plays a very big role, but in Rocket League, once that team is locked in, it's nearly impossible to get them out of their groove.
Yeah, like, knocking a team out of their groove is like one of those things you can do in any esport, but it's just magnificently different. And it's one of those things that if you do in Rocket League specifically, if you do something to let them know that like it's really bothering you, like you constantly demo one player or something like that, they're literally just gonna be laughing every time you do it because you're donating all these resources into doing something that is a very minor play on their side, right? You're like dedicating all of your time, all of your attention, all of your resources, and just getting one thing done that is not scoring goals.
Meanwhile, Pack back at the midfield, looking for the back pass here. And great, beautiful heads-up awareness. They know the demo is coming. They know their days are numbered. So they don't even try for the midfield attempt anymore. They just say, you know what, I'm going to feed it to my teammate who's waiting at the goal line. Again, just good heads-up awareness and what appears to be good communication. Again, we don't have a listen in, but when you see plays like that, you can only imagine that the call-outs are coming through crisp.
Got to imagine that, right? Nicely done. Okay, so we have our scoreline from Game 2 already. Excuse me, we have our scoreline from Game 1 and Game 2 already. Something tells me we're not going to go 2 minutes and 52 without another one, though, Captain.
I don't know, crazier things have happened. I mean, if the reverse could happen where we go 4 minutes without a goal and all of a sudden we got 3 in the last 30 seconds, the same could happen in reverse where we get all these goals in the first half and then, you know, we just go quietly into the night for the second. It's possible. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But this is Rocket League. Literally anything can happen.
See how that goes. 2.5 left in this one. Half time coming in. Nice little pass to Slime. We've seen what Slime can do. 4 shots, almost a fifth, but that does count as a fifth. And a block there from Alo.
And just keeping the ball inside of Florida Tech territory. Again, we've seen them play with the clock in game number 1 for Lander, and it worked very well into their favor. And you know what? I think we are starting to see a little bit of that slowdown that, you know, I was thinking could happen. As, you know, once again, Lander comfortable with a 2-goal lead, very reminiscent of game number 1, comfortable with that 2-goal lead, and now just really slowing things down, and even still slowing down the pace can result in goals.
I believe that's 2-2, no dresses. Hack coming in for this one. 2 shot attempts, 2 goals. So, score difference of 3 now with about 2 minutes left. Florida Tech definitely has the time. Do they have the strats? Do they have the plans to go forth and employ a real difference into this one? Because, I mean, you know, I always say like, oh well, you know, reverse sweep's gonna have to start after game 4, yada yada. It really feels like this reverse sweep is gonna have to start like now.
I mean, even still. I mean, I think this game may be too far gone. Also, I have clearly not played around with my cosmetic settings enough in Rocket League because Pete's car, or Pack, let me see who it is. Pack, their car looks all black, and I want my car to look like that.
I thought I caught part of it. Yeah, that actually kind of looks like it, almost like a metallic. I thought it was like a metallic purpley kind of, but I think you may be right. There's a lot to be said. What can I say? There's a lot to be said for the all black man. It's always
yeah,
be
it
in
looks
style.
cool again.
It'll always be in style.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta go play around with my cosmetics a little bit more. You know, I'm just always jumping in ready for the game. I don't care what I look like, but you know what? I'll be darned if I said that the all black, at least the way it appears, looks pretty cool.
Gotta love it. Pete to Slime. Slime can't connect. I think that was an attempted flick, but couldn't quite get their car angled under it. Alo, nice little bouncing ball. Slime puts this to the corner. Pete's going to have their work cut out for them trying to get this one out. That should be another pass, but no last touch for that one.
Just over 30 to go. And I'm comfortable calling it because we're outside of the Rocket League time theory, which is when you're in a deficit, you can realistically allot yourself 10 seconds per goal, and we're far away from that. So yeah, I'm comfortable saying that this one is over, going in the way of Lander.
Yeah, 10 seconds, 12 if you want to give yourself some real cushion, but also it just counts up however many. You need lightning to strike however many times. It ain't gonna happen now. 5-1, maybe 5-2, something like that. Nope, 5-1. Lander, takes down their third. Let's look at Pack right quick. I think he got a little something on his hood, or on their hood.
I can't tell, and that's the beauty of it, is that there's probably a little finesse there. It's probably not actually all black, but it's a finesse with the paint and with the decal that they chose. Again, they had to to tweak it a little bit of finesse, and it looks great. Regardless, looking at the stat count, and it's pretty self-evident here. We're looking at 10 shots coming from Lander for the 4 of Florida Tech, and Florida Tech having to come up with 5 saves off of 10 shots. No big surprise that there's 5 goals.
Yeah, so every shot was like worthwhile as well. It was quality shots as well. It's not just quantity, but the quality as well. Not just the quantity, but the quality as well. Excuse me. I mean, we look for market improvement, right? Like we look for improvement, and you got to say that is improvement from one single attempted shots, even if that was one shot that made it all the way in here. And the same situation where they're not shut out, but they get scored more again. So the problems abound, unfortunately, here for Florida Tech. Again, down 3-0 in the series. This is the same kind of situation that we saw with Akron, St. Clair. Well, St. Clair came back and took a game. Can Florida Tech do that? Can they take 2? Can they take 3? Can they get all 4 and go for the reverse sweep? Well, we're about to find out.
I mean, they definitely can. We have seen it happen. It has happened in the world of Rocket League. Has it happened recently in the NECC? I don't think so, but regardless, anything can happen. But right now, with the way Lander is playing, I don't think they are going to allow it to happen. They have just been, like I said, in locked-in mode since Game 2.
Oh, Slime almost with a fine one right there to slot it in early. Pete takes it to the skies. Nose down, Sloth says no go, and quickly climbs this tree.
Yep, good defense so far from Florida Tech, but that defense will only get you so far. Now they have to get the ball rolling on the other side. But the midfield presence from Lander, not going anywhere. I mean, very threatening here on that mid line until finally we do see Dimes able to break out of their own half. Okay.
Okay, so a little bit of danger now alleviated as Slime comes back the other way and basically plays this ball. What would they say in hockey? All 200 feet?
I don't know. Well, I live in the middle of a swamp. There's like no ice anywhere near me. Not in Louisiana. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they have some type of artificial ring, but yeah, no. No hockey here.
Yeah, no. I'll do you one better. We don't even got rain here. How about that?
Yeah, that does. Yeah, no, that does sound terrible, to be honest. I love the rain. It's one of the only things I like about it here. Regardless, moving on. Lander University, once again, will take an early lead over Florida Tech. And let's see if they can hold on to it to solidify their victory here tonight. As Florida Tech now applying a little bit of pressure of their own.
And Sloth coming in with some fancy footwork to try to garner something a little bit more for the squad. Possession is really been the way of Lander as of right now. 2 shots attempted. Slime, our sole goal scorer so far. Pete and the rest of Lander paying attention and loving the back part of this pitch. Pete, Alo, what a cut right there to stop a terrible situation from getting worse.
Yep, now going back the other way. Just under 3 minutes. Sloth down, looking to try and find somebody in the mid, but gets broken up by Pack. As now the pressure is on for Florida Tech. Still trying to hold off the aggression. Sloth able to 50 this one down. Looks to break through the mid. Gets 50'd. And now it's just a scramble for this open ball here in the corner.
Sloth, nose up, nose out. Slime takes this one from mid-pitch, twisting, turning, looking for the last one. Alo reads this perfectly yet again. And hey, we were talking about Florida Tech, what they needed to do. They've gotten it done thus far.
Yeah, at least on the defensive side of things, I just want to see them wake up a little bit on the offense. You know, we're seeing them have to recover some pretty great defensive plays, which is wonderful. But now we need to see Lander play a little bit of defense. It's been all offense, and eventually the offense will pay off. Lander University find their second.
Yeah, you can't be surprised when Lander has spent probably the past 2 minutes with the ball in the Florida Tech side of the pitch right here. 2 minutes might be a mild exaggeration, but really isn't. Like, it might have left for like a total of 15 seconds during that time. Lander gets all the opportunities in the world, and eventually one's going to hit.
Exactly. And that's just the way the ball falls here in Rocket League as we continue on. Florida Tech now inside enemy territory. And Sloth will get eliminated for elongated stay. Is now Pack able to send this one up. Not going to be over, though. Gets stopped at the midfield by Sloth. Pete now going to send this one the other way. Has a teammate there, but Alo gets back in time.
Slime. Okay. Takes this from the corner and looked a little dangerous there for a little while, but Sloth gets this ball out. They should be very glad that one's not more on point. As Pack brings this from the corner. Lander probably going to shift strats here in a bit. Just a key. I mean, not really shift strats, actually. What am I talking about? If their strat to kill time is just keep it in the offensive side of the pitch and continuously, I mean, always have a player back, but you just continuously pepper this backboard with shots so they can't get anything. It doesn't sound like a bad strat.
Yeah, that really has been the playbook for Lander, you know, for the majority of this series. You know, they get a 2-goal lead, and then they just kill the clock. And you know, it's a strategy that works. That's the benefit of the 2-goal cushion, as Pete will now make it 3.
Yeah, so... Oh, they didn't actually hit it again at the end. This was just like, this is just fake territory. This is just bait, right? To try and get Florida Tech members to pre-jump at odd angles right here. Well, it worked. 15 seconds or so for Florida Tech to bring this one back. If that was a little bit faster, that would have been it. Heartbreak Hotel has been checked into.
Yeah, and now time ticking away again. Here we are in that time theory. Allot yourself 10 seconds per goal. It's going to start now. If Florida Tech doesn't score in the next 5 seconds, it might be all but over.
Down bottom, there's a decent pass. Slime breaks it up, sends it to the corner. This is going to eat 4 seconds. Dimes, another shot attempt right there. Now hit back out, eats another 4 seconds. In this match, this game, this series, Captain Atsoka, is over.
Yep, that it is. Well played by Lander. Well played by Florida Tech. But at the end of the day, it will be Lander University to come away with the dub and a 4-0 sweep. They will be moving on.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Came fourth and just really put a beating onto Florida Tech. Yeah, I mean, I just got to call it like it is. 3-1 game 1, 3-1 game 2, 5-1 in game number 3, and then a 3-0 sweep and shutdown for Lander University in game number 4. A fantastic job, Florida Tech Crimson. We'll see them on the lower side of the bracket. They will not be eliminated from this playoff series tournament thus far. We're just going to have to see how they fare a little bit later on. And the way that Lander was playing, hey, Florida Tech, hope the best for you. Hope that you can come through, play all the way through, maybe play this team again, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, that's the benefit of hindsight. You get to go back, you get to see what you did wrong, see what you did right, and as well look at what the other side of the pitch did. You know, look what Lander did. Maybe take a page out of their playbook and, you know, and give that a try. And that's really is the benefit of being able to actually go back and watch over your past games, and so that way you can learn and correct your mistakes and then just come back stronger. But speaking of coming back stronger, we're going to be taking a quick break because we still have one more series to get to today for Rocket League here on the NECC. So don't you go anywhere. We will be right back after this quick break.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Looking for something to power your day? Then look no further than Wenzel's Farm Snack Sticks. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked, these protein-packed power sticks deliver truly sustainable energy. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. Hey, you don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me? You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. I'll too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to.
only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb but first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. You were the calm to my storm. You could take the wind, and though the winds would come, weighing on our shoulders, these the ice could never break us in. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve.
feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I've been in the good times already. You can see it on my face. I know. No more racing. We got it. We could reach it. Yeah, we got it. Oh, I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I stand back and I watch you explore in perfect visions like I've been here before. Falling faster, I try to ignore. I see you, I see you. I'll let you drag me to hell if you hold my hand. Tell me this is real and it will never end.
Welcome back for the last time tonight. We got one more series left to go. I am Captain Etsuka, joined by FBI Tugboat, and this is Rocket League on the NECC. Here we are, 2 series down, 1 more to go. FBI Tugboat, what do you got for us?
What have I got for you? I got 2 things. 1, some more fantastic Rocket League. Kennesaw State University taking on Texas Tech in a Division 2 quarterfinals. Upper quarters as well. There you go. The New Orleans hat on the head. I love it, Captain. Second thing for you. We're doing a little giveaway action. Something called Gafool. G Fuel. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. We're doing 2 G Fuel giveaways here to individuals in chat tonight. Guys, if you want to enter in for this random drawing, that is exclamation point G Fuel, GFUEL, in chat to enter. You have to spell out fuel for Rocket League players, Captain.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, completely understandable. I, personally do like my Gafool. Gafools, goes great. But yeah, no, G Fuel, 100%. You can see the code over there on top, right above FBI Tugboat's head. You can give it a good look. And you know what? And you're right. I do have my New Orleans cap on. This is my alma mater, the University of New Orleans. Sad face though, because their esports program is like struggling to get off the ground, much like everything else in Louisiana, struggling to get off the ground. But regardless, if I wear the hat, maybe I'm sending out good vibes that one day they'll be able to be here on the NECC. But until then, we have 2 teams that are here in the NECC. So let's take a look at our third matchup for the night. We're going to have Kennesaw Varsity taking on Texas Tech.
Yes. Kennesaw Varsity, Texas Tech. This is the Owls taking on them Red Raiders. Looking at Kennesaw. That is Stuvo? Steve-O, excuse me, TNT and Flitz. Taking a look at them Texas Tech Red Raiders. As the Wilds, as Bramble, and then as Boyky Boy. Boyky Boy? Bookie Boy?
We'll figure it out. And to be honest, I don't even know if Homeboy's name is Steve-O. That's just my best guess at it. Is just going with Steve-O. I hope that's correct. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm sure chat will correct us as we get on. As we continue on, we're also getting an update that in game Steve-O will be Curry. So we're not even gonna have to worry about whether or not that pronunciation is correct, because their in-game name is going to be Curry. Which sounds delicious.
Fantastic. First, agreed, hungry, am looking forward to food after this match. Second, Curry is much easier to pronounce. And honestly, in general, shirking responsibility for things like this is my go-to captain, so I appreciate that. Big shout out to Exotic, our producer, again, allowing us to shirk responsibility away from doing our jobs and more toward like Curry. Thank you.
Well, here we are, game number 1 between Kennesaw Varsity and Texas Tech, and already the fireworks are popping off. We got ourselves a demo on the board. Wilds trying to take back possession. TNT now gonna lose the ball here at the midfield line. This one going up high. Texas Tech taking control. Flippery doodah, flip, reset on the board, but it's gonna be no good.
Yeah, all the fanciness in the world, you cannot get that defensive player to shake, shudder, or falter. Especially not early. Texas Tech continuing on their offensive ways. Flitz unable to get this ball cleared and away from their side of the pitch. Nice little demo down bottom as TNT doth explode.
As the legend foretold, TNT did explode, and now looking for a shot on. Look at Flitz, though, looking for the redirect. Not going to be any good. Bramble going to leave it for their teammate, trying to take it solo. Is going to get stopped by Curry. Now going off towards the side. TNT able to get the touchdown. Back and towards the corner. Flitz is going to 50 this one out back towards their own net, and now Kennesaw back on defense.
Curry sets this one up for Flitz. Flitz takes it to the corner, realizes that he needs boost and more. This is going to be down bottom. Tries to nose this one under and in. Not going to happen so easily as we remain scoreless a minute and a half in.
Yep, so far not so bad for either side. Curry, though, looking at an opening here, and Texas Tech manages to recover in time. But so far, again, you know, we're seeing a lot of those isolated plays, right? You know, we saw this in our previous series, game number 1. It's a lot of, you know, let me take a turn, then you take a turn, and then, you know, so on and so forth. And, you know, not a lot of team synergy, you know, and again, it's going to take a little time for them to really get that going. And it's just kind of a free-for-all right now, Tugboat.
Really is. If you look for like recurring themes of offenses or defenses between these two teams, it seems like whatever we can get and as quickly as we can get it. How about that for game 1?
Yeah, one thing I noticed from Texas Tech is that they are pretty physical, as you can see right there, getting a nice little bump on Flitz and getting a couple of demos so far. Texas Tech showing off their physical prowess early.
Ball back to the middle right here. Flitz does a good job after nobody on the Red Raiders squad tries to pick this one up down bottom. A little pop play, then TNT just gifted this one. TNT with 2 shots, a goal, and a save so far, about halfway through this match.
Yep, great pass by Flitz. Again, coming in with the flip reset to pull not 1, but 2 defenders out of positioning, giving the opening to Kennesaw Varsity to get their first goal on the board. We are past half of regulation. 1-0 in the favor of Kennesaw. Scoring opportunity just kind of down and by the wayside.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that was a pass that Wilds was not anticipating, but a little flick right there gets met by, I think, every single Texas Tech member and easily blocked away. Buki puts this one up, and TNT wins the 50.
Buki Boy. I remember him from the head-to-head, you know, the lineup there. Buki Boy. Is this one going back towards the side? A good redirect, but is going to get cleared out. Goes up high. Buki not able to get there in time. Still Texas Tech getting closer towards the net now. The touch is there, and Texas Tech tie the game.
Ramble with a scramble down bottom. This is how many attempted shots? That's one. That gets like locked in, then put down. Either way, Kennesaw State really got caught looking on this one. The Owls were cheated up just a little bit more, maybe enjoying a lead. Like prematurely even, Captain? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, neither am I. But the only thing I am sure about is that we only got just about 1:25 remaining. Got ourselves a tie ball game, and I haven't seen it this close at this time in the match since game number 1 of our first series, and that went to OT.
Yeah, so when that was the very first game of the broadcast, man. I feel like a lot of these days that we've had together seem like a lot longer at times, because I mean we've only had 9 games on the day and 2 best-of-7 series.
Series. It's just series.
All right, fair enough.
Sirises. Oh my goodness. Well, again, still tied, but hold Sirises. Regardless, that's going to be Kennesaw Varsity's second goal of the game. 41 seconds in, Kennesaw take the lead again.
Yeah, double commit right there by them Red Raiders. You saw it kind of doubling up on the side right there. You got to trust your teammates here, Captain Atsoka. That's really a perfect example of such. More pressure, though, against Kennesaw.
Yeah, you know what? I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, another double commit, exactly. You know, they got to trust the process, and the process they are not trusting right now. Again, you know, you got to give your teammates a little room to breathe, and even if you don't, you know, that's when you have to start communicating. That's why comms are so important, so that way you don't get in one another's way, and you're not doing your opponents any favors. 10 seconds left here. Kennesaw Varsity aiming to win it.
Yep, and we'll have a little mini volleyball situation till this ball does, but doesn't matter with a 2-score difference and only 2 seconds left. Kennesaw State, them Owls, clap their wings and fly. Game 1 is theirs.
Yep, that it is. And right now, Texas Tech gonna have to, you know, try and re-strategize going into game number 2. That final second is now gone, and that'll do it. Kennesaw Varsity take game number 1. And Texas Tech gonna have to try and make a few corrections. Like you said, just a little bit too many double commits for our liking there, Tugboat.
Agreed. Here's a cool stat for you. This is the 10th game on stream today, right? This is the This is the 5th game that ends 3-1. How interesting. How interesting.
Yeah, another interesting thing is that you're looking at a shot count of 7 to 10 in the shot count, and the lesser of which won by 2 goals. 7 shots, 3 goals on the board. Meanwhile, on the other side, you're looking at Texas Tech. They take 10 shots and only recover 1. We said it happens. We said it earlier in the broadcast. It happens.
It's the classic quantity quality type question. We've literally had the whole conversation, Akron Blue, St. Clair Green earlier. It was literally the conversation, the topic of conversation there for Lander, Florida Tech. It will continue here for Kennesaw State, Texas Tech. Always going to want to be on the quantity side of that, right? Like, unless you're just ahead and you're just trying to like waste time last couple of seconds, kind of like what I was talking about, one of those Lander, Florida Tech games, right? If you're just consistently the other person's side of the pitch, consistently trying to put up shots until that clock strikes 0 and you're ahead, they might not be quality shots, but you're beating up time at the end of the day. This really wasn't much of an eat-up time situation, because that last goal for Kennesaw State came in, 2 seconds left?
Yeah, something like that. Again, it was definitely getting down to the wire, but here we are in game number 2. Kennesaw Varsity looking to extend their lead. Texas Tech looking to get on the board. As Texas Tech going to be in enemy territory early here. Bramble goes up high, gets the touch towards the mid, and falls on their own teammate. A little Goomba stomp there for Buki.
A little back and forth, but hey, not necessarily rocky waters quite yet. 30 seconds into this one as Flitz finds a demo. Is that on point? My goodness, Bramble again strikes first.
Yes, once again, this is going to fall under the category of we take those. Beautiful pinch. Off the ceiling, right under the crossbar. We 100% take those. That's going to be a Texas Tech lead here, just 35 seconds in.
Wow, yeah, so ideal situations. Absolutely. Gotta love it. Buki coming off the side wall here to beat Flitz and Curry, but it's a teammate that actually gets the hit. Sends this the right way if you're a Texas Tech and you're a Red Raider. Excuse me.
You know what? I understand that. I also would thought, you know, Red Ranger as well. So yeah, no, I'm right there with you, but it is a cool name. We're gonna have to save that one for when you and I make a team. We could be the Red Rangers as we continue on. Wilds gets the flip reset, not gonna be able to capitalize. Flitz now with a flick of their own. Going back into Texas Tech territory. Gonna be saying that a lot. And now a shot on for Flitz, and it is good.
Fantastic. Better than good if you're a team Kennesaw State and you are behind. This is a similar situation, what we've seen before on broadcast, but Flitz with a tying factor.
1-1, and without wasting too much time there, 3 minutes and 40 remaining. Big demo to open up the midfield from Curry. And now Flitz with a touch. Going to send this one up high towards the ceiling. Follow-up is good. Going towards the corner, gets 50 down. TNT looking to get the touch. And they get past one defender, only one remaining. And unfortunately, that touch went back towards the corner instead the mid.
Maintaining space, Rocket League, is just so important. And I do feel like in this second game, this is a lot more even-handed because of the mistakes that Texas Tech was doing a little bit earlier. This was just simply the result of getting past the defense on the one side after Wilds puts an errant ball into a ill-advised position, we'll call it. 2-1 Kennesaw State.
Yeah, and again, like you were mentioning, like the spacing and field positioning, Kennesaw Varsity are definitely sharing the field a little bit more. Like, they were tripping over themselves a little bit in game number one, but it's mostly been Texas Tech that I see kind of tripping over their own shoelaces, getting in each other's way. And when you're all corralled in, you know, one section of the field, you know, you're leaving those entire other two sections completely vulnerable. And that gives a lot of room for Kennesaw Varsity to work with, and they're able to capitalize on it.
We really are. Just needed a little bit more time for that previous play to develop. Might have ended up in the board, but halftime now. Flitz coming from on high, dropping this all the way down. I think even got a little bit of a pinch action. Wilds gets absolutely robbed right there, but Buki is going to be able to follow this one up. Curry reports that he is sneezing, bro. And Texas Tech is tied up with Kennesaw State.
Well, there you have it. And again, that's why, you know, getting those shots on, like, you don't have to put them in 100% every time, because then you just leave it for a good follow-up and a good assist and inevitably another goal. So, you know, just the fact that you get the play going, you put it in the right place, even if it's not in the back of the net, can still result in the goal. And that's why finishing your plays, committing to the play is so important, because even if you don't make it, your teammate still gets a chance.
And at the end of the day, your teammates are expecting you to go forth and do that, so their reactions and their positioning is going to be dependent on them anticipating you, not just making connections and following through with what you're saying, but putting ball into ideal positionings. I think frequently Rocket League can be one of those games that if you don't have the right comms, then you're like actively working against your team, right? Like if you're feeling like comms in a game that is so fast-paced like this, you can barely even take your eyes off the screen for a second, much less like spend time not talking about stuff that matters.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Meanwhile, back to the action here, a minute and 25. Bramble gets a big clear all the way downfield. TNT is there to break it up. Able to find the follow-up, and it gets deflected. Shot on. No good. Curry to clear it out. Now TNT is going to get a save. This one goes the other way. Bramble able to put a stop to things there at the mid. And now TNT going to try again, looking for Flitz. They get the touch, and they find the goal.
Insane. Flitz. This is only possible because he picked up that 100 boost, but man, look at that, dude. The twist, the turn, and just a tiny little tippy tap all the way inside, and Kennesaw State takes the lead yet again.
Yeah, Kennesaw definitely earned that one. You got to give them full credit for that play. And now Wilds trying to find the answer to equalize. Curry is going to get denied at the midfield line. TNT now, a little bit of boost, not able to get past Bramble. This isn't going to go out towards the side. Bramble, again, has a little to work with. Does get the pass out towards the mid. It's deflected and now cleared away. Kennesaw will take possession. Or will they?
One would think there, but Texas Tech stays fighting on this one. That might have turned real interesting if this ball just didn't get mailed from one zip code to another. Okay, bare break right there, and there's the clear that we were talking about. TNT exploding out, shot on point, and a 2-score lead for Kennesaw State.
See, this is the only time where a double commit works out, is when someone in the double commit gets there first. Like, whoever gets the first touch on it that's gonna work out. As long as you don't like, if Curry and TNT had hit the ball at the exact same time from those two different angles, that shot's not going in.
Agreed. And yeah, like the 1-2, especially at the same time, but the 1-2 is always brutal. Respecting the rule 0 here are these fine Rocket League players. Love it. Wilds and the rest gonna be dropping for the second game in a row with the same score difference, but a different score line. It was 3-1 in game number 2, is 4-2 now. Let's take a look at these numbers and a little bit about what they mean. No shot attempts from Curry. A couple of saves and assists, though.
I mean, I guess it was not needed. As you can see, 8 total shot count coming from Kennesaw State. Meanwhile, 7 on the side of Texas Tech. But it's the save count, to me, that is the real big difference maker. You're looking at 5 coming from Kennesaw State, 2 from Texas Tech, and the difference in the score was only 2 goals. So again, some pretty big defensive plays being made. And again, Curry having a hand in that with 2 saves of their own. But overall, again, pretty good performance so far coming from Kennesaw.
Defense wins the day. Cannot be surprised at that one. Taking a look at these players, I'd have to say Flitz is probably the one that stood out the most to me, like overall, like as a well-rounded player there for Kennesaw State. Excuse me. This player just seems like they're always in the, like, feed me, like, give me the ball and let me go forth and cook, or always ready to go forth, make a defensive play, obviously, or pass ball around. That's what I'm talking about when we mention well-rounded Rocket League teams. That's what you need. That's what you need. You want to start at, like, almost like a hockey level, right? Like, with more responsibilities and roles kind of divvied out, a goalie and everything else like that. But once you get to these high levels, you just can't do that.
Well, here we are, game number 3. Texas Tech still looking for their first win here in the series. 50 out now in the Kennesaw half. Bramble does get the flip reset. Doesn't allude to much, though. Curry looking to get the flip reset of their own. They get past 1. TNT now goes up. Kennesaw firing off early here in game 3. They're bringing the ruckus.
Bring the noise, will bring the crowd. That's what Texas Tech is saying right now. Cue the Jaws music. Oh, Bramble was trying to get that hit off the wall right there and foisted to the middle. That would have been the perfect feed for the teammate. Texas Tech, remember, has struck first in both of these games so far and dropped the lead after it happened. It was Bramble on both of those, and it was almost Bramble again.
Nearly there. Wilds, though, able to break up that attempt. TNT puts it right back down to Buki. Now a little bit of a scramble here in the midfield. Possession going to go back over towards the Kennesaw half. Unfortunate miss there from Texas Tech. But they're going to press onward, putting this one right in front of the net. The shot is there from Wilds. Texas Tech good for 1.
Love it. Love it. The first goal for Texas Tech came sooner than a minute in previously. Doesn't matter as long as it is coming. That is Wilds that gets this one in. Bramble with the assist. So Bramble with the 100% participation in first goals across 3 games.
Yeah, now it feels like we're fighting fire with fire. Kennesaw varsity, you know, they started off with a lot of aggression. Texas Tech, they're answering back. It feels like this is going to be a very offensive game, whereas the previous game was won defensively, mostly by Kennesaw. Again, they were able to register, I think it was like 4 or 5, I want to say 5 saves. And now it's just been all offense from kickoff for both sides.
Yeah, Texas Tech. I feel like they figured it out, but I'm hesitant a little bit because, again, they've been able to score first, or generally teams that score first goes forward and wins. They have undone that twice. 3-11, not just a band, it's time left, and here as Bramble makes a dash to the middle. No boost
Great
to be
ban,
spoken
by the
of
way.
as a Kennesaw State defense continues.
Yeah, 311, great band. If you want to know what the '90s was like, just listen to 311. You'll be in good hands.
Puddle of mud action.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's always a good time at 311. I'm here all week. No, not really. Regardless, getting right back to it. We're going off the backboard now. Nearly half of regulation gone. Kennesaw Varsity still looking to score. And I think this is the longest they may have been without getting a goal, if I'm not mistaken.
2.5 minutes, half of a game. Yeah, that'd be accurate, Captain Etsoka. Kennesaw State's offense has looked a little bit stale because they're doing the exact same thing. Like, there's no change. There's no wiggle room, really, with this offense right here. And now doubling up in the corner is definitely not going to get this one to the center. And out. Okay, never mind. That was really easy for them to bring this one out. I'm surprised at the ease with which Texas Tech gave that over.
Well, now they're trying to find a goal here, and good call off. Flitz could have gone up, could have got like a little bit of a touch, but TNT called them off. Again, we discussed how important the communications were. Clearly, Kennesaw is trying to communicate so that way they can equalize, but Texas Tech still on that aggression on the offense, and now that double commit could very well have costed them a goal.
And there it does. TNT strikes this one in. Now, I think that's twice now. Yeah, so it was Bramble in the first two goals, Bramble assist on the third. Sorry. The first two games, the first goal Bramble got, Bramble assisted the third one. And I'm pretty freaking sure it was TNT in games 1 and 3 now. It consisted of the scorer for the comeback one, for the tying factor, right? So if this continues to follow a theme here, we'll see at least one more goal from Texas Tech and at least 2 more goals from Kennesaw State.
Yeah, and you know what? We've been talking about Flitz a lot, but I feel like TNT has been getting in there in the conversation as well. I mean, they have really been somewhat of a playmaker, and nearly point in case, as that one would have been beautiful, but it does get broken up by the Texas Tech defense as they manage to stand tall and keep this game tied at 1.
Blitz, Curry. Curry was trying to get under this to get that ball to hit his roof, hit their roof, and then continue on there. It's projection, right? Or its trajectory, I guess I should say. A solid attempt. It would have a really, really sneaky goal, gotta say, with some like interesting tech kind of, but remained 1-1.
45 seconds remaining. Could we see OT in Game 3? We very well could. Flitz able to get the save. TNT now with the touch over towards the side. This one has the makings of a shot, and Curry is there to break it up. Going off the back wall again, TNT. 30 seconds to go. Looking to break the tie here in regulation. No.
Curry just kind of continues his trajectory right there again. As the Red Raiders try and get in the offensive third. Curry gets a solid corner up on this one. That is solid market progression. Last player back, TNT knows it. Sends this one flying the other way, and it's TNT again down bottom! Oh my goodness, how did they block that? That looked like it fully eclipsed.
A lot of hard work, player. That's how. A lot of hard work. Well, here we are for the second. This is only the second time tonight we have been in OT. I like how close these games have been all throughout the night. I feel like we would have been in overtime a lot more often than what we have.
I feel you. I can definitely agree with that. It definitely feels like it, but to OT we go. Texas Tech basically needs this game like they need their next breath. They're looking at 2-0. Losing this one, that's pretty much going to be it. Like, for a situation where they're going to be playing another match no matter what. Oh my God, TNT! What an effort. Beautiful stuff, man. My goodness.
Dude, props to the defense for saving that. And you know what? Again, that's the defensive positioning that I'm talking about. You have 2 players back, right? 2 defenders. One challenges the shot and the other protects the net. That's perfect coverage. That's what you have to do on every play. Well done, Texas Tech.
Yeah, it was one of those things that's a lot easier said than done and comes off the back of some fantastic comms. See how this goes. Last back. Okay, so Curry got a little bit of a hit right there. TNT down bottom has a bad angle on it. A bouncing ball, that was almost bad.
Nearly there, TNT now with a flippery doo-dah flip reset. And a big demo, but, you know, it doesn't have the same effect when both players commit for the demo. You know, like more often than not, you see a double commit for the ball. I don't know how many times I've seen a double commit on a demolition.
I love it. I love it. Both players going for it, like, this guy's getting taken out, but Curry with the shot. 2-1 right now. A minute and a half of overtime.
Yeah, the way Kennesaw was playing, again, it was just too much aggression. I mean, too mean. That's very mean. Kennesaw, again, headhunting for the demos. Closer and closer, still pushing in towards the net. Like, whether you like it or not, they were going to take that dub. Like, even they were convinced. And now, look at this again. The second time in the series. Kennesaw State loses the shot count and wins the game. 5 shots in comparison to 11. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 coming from Texas Tech. Has not happened all night. Has happened twice just in this series.
I'm going to try to do quick math. I think it's 5 shots attempted at Kennesaw State and 10 for the side of Texas Tech, right? 4-3-3. Yes,
I corrected myself. I said 10.
It's like, yeah. Number.
I was not a math major,
yeah,
okay?
Yeah, same here. Same here. But doubling up and winning. Now, yes, it was a 1-score difference, and yes, it was just in overtime. But an overtime situation means that that's the time for a team that has a whole bunch of shots to go forth and make those things count, or to just have the ones that they do have, the ones they are gifted, go forth and mean the most. Regardless, right now, Texas Tech, these Red Raiders up against a wall.
Yeah, they really are. And the way that Kennesaw State has been playing, they like pushing towards the wall. Like, again, they take it from the midfield, and that's where they set up their baseline, right? That's where their base of operations is. And then they just keep pushing closer and closer and closer towards the net until eventually you're completely suffocated and you give up a goal. But it's been working for Kennesaw, and that's how they keep on playing. Now, granted, I do like what I'm seeing from Texas Tech. They have been coming with a rebuttal. They've been bringing that really unrelenting offense. Now it just needs to be refined. Again, we saw a little bit of a couple of those hiccups. Not a lot of team synergy, just a lot of politeness, like, you go first, no, you go first, I'll go after you, and then you, no, after you, you know, just not a lot of working together and just a lot of taking turns at the ball.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Like, we talked about comms a little bit and how that can come into play and how you really just have to get these across, but it feels like both Kennesaw State, Texas Tech, and I feel like the scoreline says that they both teams have been playing better, although not perfect quite yet. The overall scoring coming down as well in an overtime game and stuff like this, I am, fully about. We just had to bait you guys. You know what I'm saying? A little cast urge bait right there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep you guys on your toes. All right.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. What you thought we was gonna bring you game 4 already? Like, come on now. You got to build up the anticipation with this. I mean, it's game 4. Kennesaw Varsity looking to sweep right here and now Texas Tech are going to have to pull off the reverse sweep. So, yeah, this is it's looking pretty dangerous right now if you're Texas Tech.
It's also looking exactly like both of our first 2 series so far, right? One team takes 3 games down. That was Akron Blue in the first game. St. Clair Green able to bring that back from the brink in game 4 to take 1, then unfortunately dropped in the 5th one, so the series was 4-1, right? Then Lander won the first 3 dominantly, 3-0 Florida Tech. So long, and I'll see you in the lower bracket for them. Now that's exactly what we've seen here as well. Again, like the writing on the wall is that this is the playoffs, and this is the cream of the crop that has risen to the top. As of this point, 2 of our series have gone down to, 4 and a 5 game series, and this one is flirting with another 4-1.
Well, so far, we've seen a little bit of pressure coming from both sides now, but look at towards the midfield drop. Again, that looked like a pass to me. And I'm thinking that whoever the intended receiver was thought the defense was going to get there first. But in hindsight, which is 2020, it just looked like a wasted opportunity. And just like that, Texas Tech able to turn it into a goal for themselves.
Okay, the script is still on. It's right there. It's Texas Tech striking first, and slowly but surely draining away a lead. I would love to see Texas Tech strike again here quickly, right? Like, try and break this mold and say, hey, that was the past. You live in it, you will be doomed to fall prey to it.
Well, let's see. I don't know. I feel like it can't happen that many times in a row. You know, like, can it happen more than once? Sure. Can it happen 4 times in a row? I mean, I guess we're about to find out. Texas Tech scored first again, but will they be able to take it to a win? 1 minute already gone, 1 minute and 10 off the clock. This one falls in front of the net. Gonna get cleared out by Buki. Buki boy. TNT now off the backboard, looking to pass towards the mid, and Buki is there to break it up.
A great nose-up shot on that one to try and force the offenders, to really have to stretch this play vertically, get up there, and it just slowed everything down. That bought defenders a little bit of time to rotate around, get into position where Texas Tech can now get another offensive drive going.
Yeah, but look out for Flitz. Flitz has definitely been a big playmaker. That one drops off the backboard, and no one from Kennesaw is there? Huh. That's a little odd, Tugboat.
What's going on with that? Hey, what's up with that? Nah, I hear you.
Right.
These are teams that I think that was just a result of like a really, really fast transition, offense defense wise. Like, you know, ball just very, very quickly moved down the pitch. Otherwise, there's not much of an excuse for such a wide open net being missed.
I'll be honest, I feel like this 3-0 lead is getting to Kennesaw. They're getting complacent. Now's not the time to relax and get complacent. Job's not done. You're down 1-0. Can't play too cautious now. You got to get back in the game. Texas Tech, they're looking to take this dub. They want to go and try and get the reverse sweep. Can't allow that to happen if you're Kennesaw.
Something has happened, surely, but given that Kennesaw has, like, dropped the first goal every single time and brought it back, I don't know if I want to tell them to, like, not try and do that again. I don't know. Just not giving up the first goal, I'm really curious to see what happens there. Does the opposite hold true? Does Kennesaw State come forth and loot? Well, fantastic shot right here, and this one is mailed from pretty far down. Blitz just tries to get this one going, but this is off the corner right here. Oh, that's an own goal all day long.
Yeah, it was. And I'm not going to be that guy, but all I'm going to say is that had that been a Texas Tech player to get that touch, it would have been a nice shot. That was a very long-winded way of me saying nice shot, but trying to be polite about it.
Yeah, I get it. That would have been great if your color was the opposite of what it is. If you were on the blue team and not the red team. Oh, 100 seconds left or so. Kennesaw State has found themselves down by 1 several times in this series, and they've been able to bring it back from the brink every time. That's
no
Flitz
shot.
That finds themselves down by 2, and now makes that down by 1. Just loneliest number.
I feel like it's the meme, like they can't keep getting away with this. They always come back. Like, how does this happen? It's still not over. 1 minute and 25. I mean, Texas Tech can still pull this one out. They just got to hold the line. And so far, Kennesaw Varsity has just been the comeback champs all series long, but they've never been down by 2. It's always been by 1.
I mean, Game 2 went down to a 4-2 scoreline, but then the game right after that was OT. Again, a game that Texas Tech struck first. Kennesaw State got one in regular time, about 90 seconds or so, if I remember. Oh, that is Flitz feeling bad for that one. You can tell. Just trying to transition from, like, horizontally a little bit right there, and didn't really read where this ball was going to be bouncing.
Yeah, I felt like that one was for TNT. TNT seemed like to be in the prime position for that one. And again, trying to take a shot on, gets blocked. Now this one's going to go all the way to the other side of the pitch. Just 30 seconds remaining for Kennesaw to try and equalize and possibly send this to OT. Or we go to Game 5.
Looked like a bad double commit there for a second shot, but TNT is there. 15 seconds to go right here. And rule 0 after that, Captain.
And that'll do it.
No. Wow.
That'll do.
Love it. Wilds. 3 shots, 3 goals. Cap on
yeah,
top.
Bramble.
That's a hat trick, folks.
Yeah, Bramble also getting in on that one. They were the one that broke up the play, you know, to get the ball going back in their favor. So, yeah, once again, you were talking about Bramble earlier. Bramble showing up when you need him.
Did it first score of a couple, the first, if this had been made in, I'd say, oh man, Texas Tech, please don't do it again. As it is, there's an unsurmountable lead in Texas Tech take on game number 4. The 4-0 sweep will not happen here for Kennesaw State. At least one game going the way of Texas Tech here as we take a look at the numbers. 7 shots and 7 shots, but Texas Tech coming out on top this time.
Yeah, Texas Tech got 1 extra save, but take a look at this. Every single shot from Texas Tech, well, every goal, rather, came off the assist. Same can be said for Kennesaw, but Texas Tech simply has more. So, like I said, I feel like Kennesaw got a little humbled that game. What about you?
I have to agree because it almost seemed like, I mean, I'm not going to say the players are leaning into a meme. Obviously, I don't know what's inside their brain, right? But, like, the fact that they get scored on against first, and then they do it 3 times in a row to come back, right? Yeah, but the last time for overtime, you should be thinking, like, okay, we don't have that kind of wiggle room here. And again, this is the playoffs and the quarterfinals and stuff like this. Kennesaw State is going to change something if they want to have an opportunity to just take this game and put the series down, because 4-2, like, or a 3-2, excuse me, now you're like, well, we only have one more game until this is essentially like a one and done, a best of 1 series, that where we were just at 3-0, right? Got to change something.
Yeah, absolutely. And the question is, where do you make the change? Because they've been playing great all night long. Now, all of a sudden, you know, they go down a game. So what really do they need to correct on? Let's see if they'll be able to find the answer to that as we are underway here in game number 5. And Texas Tech look to take possession to start things off. But now TNT will put the shot on as it gets blocked and cleared away.
The answer is what we've been talking about, I feel like. Take this first score and stop, like, playing such loose ball early that they have gotten the opportunity to score against you now 4 times in a row for the first, or 4 games in a row that they have scored first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, strike first. You know, I mean, you're letting Texas Tech do it every single game. Now, Kennesaw, time for you to step up early and, you know, stop waiting until the second half. Is now Buki off the back wall, able to get the touch, put this one right back down, 50'd up high into the corner. Now Flitz looking to get the pass towards the middle. It gets broken up. Loose ball. Going to be going back over towards Flitz. And it's going to get cleared away back towards TNT. Takes another chance. Flitz is there, and that's the first goal for Kennesaw.
Yeah, the TNT Flitz combo is deadly, bro. Absolutely deadly. TNT, like, they look like they're coming up slow at this. No, what they're doing is they're allowing Flitz time to get on the ground and then rotate in, just turn their car around to get in the position to accept this pass. This was never about the initial shot.
Yep, absolutely. And that is the difference that communication really makes. To be honest, you know, if you have communications, you're going to be pulling off a lot better pass plays. And it looks so simple, and it is, when you're watching it unfold, but it's also so effective. There's genius in simplicity, as I like to say.
Yeah, hey, if it's simple and it works, you are not going to be messing with the recipes for success. 90 seconds into this game number 5, possibly the last game here. It will be the last game if Texas Tech does lose it. It will be extension of an electrifying series this far if Texas Tech wins it. Pick up a big boost along the way here for TNT. Try and bring it out across the corner. I didn't see that player on the other side. I can't expect him to have. 3? Okay. It looked like they were cooking up something beautiful up top.
Texas Tech, they lose possession there. Again, a little bit loose ball. You know, like you had mentioned earlier, you know, they really got to tighten things up a little bit, try and bring some more of those intentional passes. Maybe even more of that demo and physical play that we saw from Texas Tech in game number 1. As now Flitz, big read in the mid, turns it into the second goal for Kennesaw.
Flitz didn't get an assist earlier for that. There has been a robbery. Flitz gets a goal right here, though. Or no, Flitz got the 2 scores. It was TNT with the assist earlier. Sorry about that. 2-0 lead here for Kennesaw State.
That was just, again, that in and of itself, in my opinion, is a defensive play. And again, that's where, you know, some of the defense doesn't get, you know, its proper proper gratitude, is because that started from an interception. Like, you read the play, you turned it into a goal, and now Flitz again to find a third. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a hat trick.
It most certainly is, and it's on 3 shots as well. Only 3 times Flitz has turned their scopes, their sights, towards this net. The ball has gone in. Kennesaw State has figured this one out. Perhaps they were playing with their food a little bit earlier. I mean, this looked... So all 3 of those plays looked easy, right? Whether it was the solo play here, just the takeaway and put it right down mid where Texas Tech members are not, or the 2 pass plays thus far, Kennesaw State has made it look easy.
Yep, that they have. Flitz having themselves a game here in Game 5. Texas Tech looking to score as that one goes wide. Flitz again. Leaves it for Curry. Looking for the follow-up touch. Flitz again. Oh, I think that may have tried to be an attempted pass at Curry. And now Flitz looking for Curry again. I love the pass plays. Even if it's just an attempt, you can tell the ideas are formulating in their minds.
You basically see these comms flying through the air on our Rocket League pitch. And also, big swinging passes like that, they take, another 3 seconds before somebody even touches the ball. You know what else it does, Captain? It eats clock. And clock at 30 seconds per score needed right now for Texas Tech, and that's just to tie it up, by the way, is really the main opponent of this Red Raiders squad.
Take a look at this. Open net. Looks like it's just going to bounce right on and Kennesaw now riding a wave of momentum here under the sea in Aquadome, as now they have a 4-goal lead.
Crazy stuff. That's TNT. That's dynamite for the 4th score right here. And not to be too negative, but it was almost certainly the nail in the coffin of these Red Raiders. Back up against the wall. They brought one back from the brink. Not able, at least not yet, to do it twice.
About to say, if you don't want to be negative, I'll do it. I don't mind. I often claim that I am the villain of Rocket League esports. I'll call it like I sees it, and right now it's not looking good for Texas Tech. I mean, they had a great series. A lot of these games were a lot closer, and this one is not. I hate to break it to you, but again, we're looking at Texas Tech scoring first in the last 4 games. This time they are still scoreless after 4. So again, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it. I say this one is done.
27 seconds. Yeah, I mean, 4 especially now. Yeah, 4 scores is not really attainable. 20 seconds, especially not when TNT is showing just how hard it is to take the ball away from them. That previous play. Maybe a little something
4
for the road.
scores.
Nah.
I was going to say 4 scores and 5 minutes ago, maybe this had been possible, but not anymore. That will just about wrap it up, Tugboat.
There you go. There you go. That's going to be it. 4-0. We've only gotten two shutouts here, and they're both in the last game of the Lander University squad, and now with Kennesaw State and Texas Tech. How interesting. All of that to boil all the way down to one team getting completely shut out, no scores on boards. Interesting stuff. Gotta say, interesting stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, what was really interesting, and we had talked about it throughout the series, is that, Texas Tech were the first ones to score in every single game but the last, and still the scoreline being what it was. Also, the fact that 2 of the games, at least from my recollection, 2 of the games that unfortunately that we saw from Texas Tech, where they actually got a higher shot count but ended up losing the game overall. To me, that's big. Again, I think that might be a little bit telling more about the way that Kennesaw play. Because granted, like in 2 of those games, they had a lesser shot count, but they had more goals. So again, they are being a little bit more calculated in their attempts. They're being a little bit more selective about the shots they take.
Which I'm never against, man. If you're just constantly racking a ball against somebody else's backboard and into their defender's hands just for them to get clears and hits and passes and stuff into their teammates, then eventually, it's literally going to work against you. If you're playing from ahead, then sure, just throw whatever you want against the backboard, right? Especially if you're talking sub 60. At the end of the day, though, that's not a way you can consistently play Rocket League.
Yep, couldn't agree with you more. But at the end of the day, it is a big GG to Kennesaw State. They come out on top, taking it 4-1. In this best of 7, they are going to be moving on. And who knows, possibly, maybe, they could see each other again. we'll see as the postseason continues on. But that is going to wrap things up for us tonight. So, Tugboat, any big thank yous we should send out there before we call it a night?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a big shout out to Wenzel's Farms. You saw some of the advertising they had a little while earlier. Me and Captain were all about it. Those guys look hilarious. Those guys look absolutely hilarious. Love it. Very, very tasty stuff. Big shout out again, guys. Exclamation point G Fuel if you would like to enter in. There's about 230 of you guys, I guess. So really just get it in there quick, and maybe you'll have a chance to get yourself a G Fuel package. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Exotic, our producer, producing away, making our jobs as casters that much easier. Mr. Atsoka and I would just be two people screaming about Rocket League in our rooms without our production staff. So we very much appreciate it. If you liked what you heard, bam, right there, FBI_tugboat. If you liked what you heard, damn, my arm doesn't go that far over. Captain Atsoka, spelled just like that. That's all I got, though. Appreciate you guys watching.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain, but I got memories that run through my veins.